What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Big shout out to my doggy State of Decay for coming through and boosting up the coin. So we got the Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. leaked press conference highlights ain't no one seen before. I've got it on 1.5 speed because there's a whole bunch to get through and I ain't got all day, you best believe it. So let's get to it.
Fighters.
As a fighter, I want to be seated as close to my enemies as possible. I want to be able to see.
I agree. This was Eddie's choice. This was Eddie's choice.
Of course it was Eddie's choice. Of course Eddie wants the promoters to be in between the fighters. So I'm going to sit here, and Ben, you should sit there. You do what you want.
I don't know who you're talking
Good idea, Chris.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, silly.
I can't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it the first time around. And, you know, we got to a stage, the fight was announced.
Eddie,
It was the...
you know I don't like you, right?
I don't know.
So if you know that, what on God's sweet green earth makes you think I'm going to sit here and listen to any of that you have to say?
To be honest, I mean, you're going to have to.
No.
You are?
We're not. We're going to have some parliamentary procedure here today.
Okay. Well, one thing's for sure, you ain't no prime
And we're going to skip past whatever it was you thought you was going to talk about, and we're going to continue on with the press conference. Ade, you may proceed.
So as I was saying, Eddie...
No.
You get your turn.
This is not the Eddie Hearn show.
One thing's for sure, it ain't the Chris Eubank show.
This is not the Eddie Hearn show.
No.
This is Eubank versus Ben. So you can either sabotage
Well,
this.
you got your man to your right. He's going to say a few words.
You can either sabotage the event, and I'll just start talking to Ben personally, directly, or you can be quiet and we can move on with the press conference. I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
We can be here all day.
I've been addressed.
We can be here all day.
I've been addressed.
I don't want to hear what you have to say. So
Well, to be honest with you, many people do.
Ade,
I think I'm more popular than you.
Ade, if you want to control the situation and move forward, you can.
I'm enjoying this. This is almost like a mini face-off.
So how would you run the press conference, Chris? Because you're such an unbelievable promoter.
I'm not running it, but I'm just not
So
listening.
what happens now?
We move on.
What, you talk?
I'd love to talk, but if
I'll
not
tell you
me,
what I'll do.
somebody
I'll tell you
else.
what I'll do. Conor Benn, how are we feeling about smashing this geezer to pieces April
There you go.
26th?
Let's hear from Conor.
Yeah? Because I'll tell you something now. I can't wait. I look at you, I look at Nigel wants to get in the ring and have a tear up.
Do you know what? Listen, Chris can say what he wants. The bottom line is, his dad don't even like him. You could not pay that man enough money to sit in this man's corner. Now that's an accomplishment, Chris. That's an accomplishment. Well done. The most unlikable geezer on the planet. Even your dad don't like you.
Maybe.
That was a violation, man. That was I ain't gonna lie to you, man, about this one here. That was a proper old school violation. I'm not even sure what to say, to be fair. All I can say to Eubank is you got to bring the heats. Because my money's on the lines here, people. People. 100%. You already bumped me expeditiously once. You bumped me versus Smith, so you best take these bars in you're hearing from Hen, absorb them and give it to him. Old school. Meek Mills versus Diddy style. Take it. That's what you got to do to this cat here. No doubt about it.
Maybe.
Drop the mic.
I gave up on my dreams of being the hero a long time ago. The other still wants and believes in dreams and praise
Chris, speak on behalf of yourself.
of being
Speak on behalf of
the
yourself.
good guy, of
Speak on
being
behalf of
the
yourself.
golden boy. That's what I believe.
No. Speak on behalf of yourself.
I know. I'm
Look,
just saying what I believe your mindset is at
rubbish.
this stage.
This whole 10 minutes you've been talking has been rubbish.
It's okay.
And no one's even like, what do you want, a violin?
The sickening thing about the situation is, Conor, you had it.
I have it. You don't had it.
You had it.
No, I had it.
It has to be said, Eubank likes hearing himself speak too much. There's no bash. He just rambles on and on and on. These are the highlights. I was putting me half to sleep, to be honest. Just rambling on and on. How many times do I have to tell these fighters? You see you juicy midget from Essex, with your soft perm. Is it a perm? What's the opposite of a perm? Relaxed looking wig. You are getting it. And I'm punching you all the way back to that white boy wig you had in our first face-off. Bash. Simple as that. Yeah? Something simple. Keep it short and concise. Ben, Conor, I know you wanted to be the good top golden boy, but you had some eggs, and the eggs make... Oh, come on, Chris, man. Short and snappy.
Have it.
You had
your career's
everything.
done. You're fighting a welterweight at the end. That sums up your
You
career.
had the whole public behind you. Everyone wanted you to win.
what
Everyone
you
wanted
done.
you to be the next big thing in boxing. I never had that.
No one cares.
You know what I would have given to be in that situation that you were in?
But still nobody cares.
You had it.
But nobody cares still, Chris. You're still going on.
It all away. You literally it all away. Now, you're here. We're at this press conference. We're going to fight, and you're going to try and use me to get back into the public's good graces. It's just not going to happen for you, kid. Sorry to break it to you.
Why are you so confident that you can knock Chris Eubank Jr. out that quick?
Do you know what? I just can't take him seriously, that's all. Just look at his career. Every time he stepped up, he's fouled. Every time.
To be fair though, Hen, you ain't never stepped up. In fact, let's have a quick look at the ages of these guys. I thought Conor Benn was like 23 still. Ben box rec, because Conor Benn, to be fair to Eubank, he was And he was the same. Conor Benn's like 28 now. Is he? Can't even find it. He's been in the pro game for 10 years. That's scary, isn't it? His career debut was in 2016. Can you believe that? 10 years he's been knocking about. And who's he fought? Pure stifflers. So let's now compare it. 9 years in the game. Conor Benn's fought not a bean and no one. Chris Eubank Jr. on the other hand, he was fighting Billy Joe. If I remember correctly, that was pretty early on in his career as well. So Eubank debuted in 2011 and he was fighting... Where's Billy Joe? He fought Billy Joe at some point, somewhere. In 2014, 3 years later, he's having a proper fight. Right? That was at the time like was it British title? Yeah, it was a British title fight. Has Henn won the British title? Maybe he did actually. Let's have a look if Conor Benn won the British title. Conor Benn. Who would he have fought for the British? I don't even think he won the British title. He hasn't. Conor Benn ain't even won a British title. And they kind of larp saying, oh, well, we fought Chris Algieri instead. I don't even know who the 147 British champion would have been. I think at the time they were talking about making Josh Kelly and Conor Benn. Oops. So Ben's gone on this kind of career where he's fighting these old washed up American stiffs. And talking about, oh, your career's finished. Has Eubank's career been the best? No, I think he beat Billy Joe, to be fair. He gave Billy Joe the work, to be honest. I didn't win in that fight. But he's got a whole bunch of names in here. James Dishot, Horsehead. James DeGale, George Groves is in there. He lost. But even that fight was close, apparently. That fight was 113, 115 on one judge's scorecard. Oops. And Groves went on to win that was a world title fight, was it? No, it wasn't. Groves must have went on to win a world title at some point then. He fought James Dishot, Liam Chiniums, Liam Smith. Not the best career. No one's going to say it's the best career. It's more than Henn has done, though. Age for age. Age for age. Eubank really did most of his career by 28. Essentially. He fought DeGale when he was like 29 or something like that. So he'd completed most of the career missions. Billy Joe, Dishot, Groves. In that part of his career. Ben's has been hanging around for 9 years deep into his career. And he's fought no one. Not even one, not even a British title. Or a European title, nothing. So you can't really talk about careers, to be honest. Eubank's got the better career at this point.
Yeah, you face better oppositions, well done you, but this is the end of your career. This is the end. This is it for you.
Wow.
I'm 28.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? You choose to fight a welterweight over Shiraz.
What was your last fight?
Over Janibek, over Adamas, over anybody with a world title. You choose to fight a welterweight. Your career's done.
You're not a welterweight.
You've achieved your career.
You fought a light middleweight in your last
I fought light middleweight to prepare for you.
Okay,
That's all. I'm a welterweight.
No, you're not.
I'm a welterweight.
You'll be a
And you are
welterweight.
going to get rendered unconscious by a welterweight. Yeah, exactly. Like Liam Smith. But that brings back horrors. Exactly like that. Exactly the way he jumped up to 160. And he done exactly that. Had you dancing all funny. That's exactly what's going to happen April 26th. Except by a welterweight whose name happens to be Ben. And you know what? You can retire off to the sunset with your pension fund. But this is you done.
Oh, you know, I've had...
See, Eubank, he goes, ooh. These cats here, they need me on their team to pass them the bars. Conor Benn's talking about, oh, Liam Smith did this. You had some French Donny problems. Let me find the bum you had problems with. Let me find the Bummington you went life and death with. Because there was a proper stifler. Paynow, that was his name. You went like, you was have to get off the deck. But Conor Benn down twice in the first round. You had to peel yourself off the deck, man. Against a proper stifler in a 6-rounder. You can't talk to me about getting knocked down. Yeah, put Liam Smith in there with your ass. You'd have been clipped too. These kind of things. Eubank's like, dead. Tied bars. No bars. You got no bars. Eubank ain't got no bars.
had 34 fights, 25 KOs, and I can only beat this guy because I'm a bit bigger than him.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm going to beat him because I'm a better fighter than
But you're
him
not.
in every single
But
part.
you're not. If you look at your career's done.
I don't know. But he cannot beat me, that's for sure.
Based on what? Billy Joe, George Groves, Liam Smith. I'm undefeated here. You've tasted...
I'm undefeated.
To defeat. You've been rendered unconscious before.
I'm undefeated. You fought bums, man. Serious. You can't throw the undefeated bars out there. You can't mention Billy Joe. He beat Billy Joe. Billy Joe stunk the place out, man, running and goosed. He was knackered in the back straight of that fight. Forget about it. He punched Billy Joe up, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, Groves. Again, that Groves fight. Eubank came to fight. All due respect. Against a top-level operator. No doubt. You ain't even, you're 30 years old and you ain't been in there with one top level operator. And you're in there with Bummingtons and you're going life and death. I can't put money on Ben because you have to believe in the power of Dr. Al-Shabaab. Now listen, if Dr. Al-Shabaab is able to pull off the juice, the kind of under the radar juice, then he might have a chance. But outside of that, look here, look. Peter Dobson, stinker, 12 rounds. Rodolfo Orcozo, stinker, 10 rounds. And then we have to go back to Chris Van Heerden and Chris Algieri when he was absolutely egged off his chops. Yeah, 100 eggs a day he was on in them fights. Proper. Yeah, proper. OIB. Why do the egg prices keep going up? Oops. Ask Conor Benn. OIB, the politicians, the eggs, the inflation. Ask Conor Benn, man. He the one was... People, when you're buying, the economy isn't designed to supply one individual 50,000 eggs a day. So that's where the egg inflation came from. Eggflation. Conor Benn is, in my opinion, well, not my opinion actually, leading economists and scientists say Conor Benn is the sole cause for the eggflation. Yeah, hoarding all the eggs so he can boost up his clomiphene stats. No doubt about it. So without the clomiphene, this guy can't punch. 2 fights, 22 rounds against Bummingtons, and no knockdowns, no stoppages. And you're going up there to 160 with Eubank. He's too big, too strong. Way too big, way too strong. Way too big, way too strong.
He was eating the canvas, literally.
Rendered unconscious. I finished the fight.
Well, your corner saved you. Otherwise, you definitely would have been eating the
Rendered
canvas.
unconscious is far from what I was.
I don't know who to address here, but I'm going to Ben or Eddie. Where are we on this rehydration cap? Ben.
Look, it wasn't something that we expected. It wasn't something that was agreed. I think the first fight, the weight limits, the rehydration, it got a lot of controversy in it, and it wasn't right. This was something that was added in last minute. It's something that we'll deal with. Chris is a professional, and he'll make it the way he should. But it's not something you typically see in boxing. Not at this limit, not on the day. And it's just another thing that puts a bit of a downer on the event, when at the end of the day, this is an unbelievable event for British boxing, and it wasn't agreed until 24 hours before a contract was signed.
Okay, there you go. Eddie, any response to that?
No, I think...
Eddie doesn't get a response. I've been very clear that Eddie is not...
One thing I'll tell you, because you better get some better people working for you, son.
It's okay.
Because I'll tell you something now, what you said was very spot on, Ben. It was agreed in the contract.
What was agreed was that the fight would happen and that Conor Benn can beat Chris Eubank Jr. at any weight. That was what was agreed.
No,
and
no.
all of a sudden, we get demands from Conor and his team that...
You do know the first fight was £7 rehydration.
The original fight was 157.
I'm not worried about the original fight. You guys sprung it on us
Hold on a minute.
about a
Then you
rehydration
might put on
clause.
£8-9. Stop talking rubbish, Chris, because that's all you've done all evening. It's talk rubbish. You said your team come to my team and in fact said about a rehydration clause. £8 to £9. That's what you put on after weighing. That's what you suggested, and we agreed. So stop covering your ass when you get knocked out.
When
Stop covering your ass when you
did
get
we
knocked
say
out.
Okay, all right.
We know what we
That's who
signed.
said that.
We know what we signed, and we know
Let me
what you
just tell you how, from my perspective, how it went down.
It don't, honestly.
Eddie,
Your man said, when the
stop
contract...
interrupting.
See what I mean? Like, this is one thing I do rate Tyson Fury for, is the fact that in terms of talking rubbish, you can't fight for toffee. Tyson can't fight for toffee. But the chat, Eubank sitting there saying, oh, but this weight and that weight. All Eubank has to say is, listen, Conor, yeah, this fight could have been at 140 pounds, and I still fry your little ass. Leave it as that. We could have done this fight at 140 pounds with a minus 10 pound rehydration clause, and I'll still fry your little ass. You're 5 foot tall. Oops. You're 5 foot, man. Listen, you see you. Yeah, you relaxed hair midget from Essex. You are getting it. Yeah? There's never been a 5'4" man that could do nothing with me. Come on. But you said 157 and 8 pounds of this and 6 pounds. Oh, man. Where do they find these guys out? No bars, man. It's tired. No one wants to hear no one wants to litigate the contract. End of the day, like Eddie Hearn said, to be fair to him, you signed the contract. Oops. Oh well, it was done on 24 hours notice. Ben Shalong, he knows enough about contracts, then man there. Yeah. The Cohen and Sheckelstein Inc. Incorporated LLP. They know exactly what they're doing with the contracts. This hasn't been it was 24 hours. Yeah, in 24 hours you signed it. So you agreed to it. End of the day, I don't necessarily like it. I think Conor Benn should go to 160. Eubank's 35,000 years old. So if you're going to knock him out like Liam Smith did, rehydrating's rehydrating. All it does is mean you're fighting on a fair playing field, if that makes sense. Having less water in someone's brain, would I want to knock them out because of that? For me personally, no. If I was going to go up there and handle business like Conor Benn saying he will, I'd want to do it saying, listen, there was no excuse. You put as much water in your bonds as you could handle, and I still knock your head off. I wouldn't want to give him the excuse. If I really believed I was going to be all over him, I was going to be too young for him, too ferocious for him, right? You have to pick your lane here. Are you too young and too ferociousness for him? Or are you not? This whole thing here implies you're not. You're looking for a little edge, is what it is. Like you was doing with Dr. Al-Shabaab and the moody 50,000 eggs a day. Bosh.
Back to me, Eddie. Let me cook.
No, because you got plum. A plum. And you signed the contract.
I did sign the contract, and I'm going to explain why.
You know why you signed the contract?
I'm going to explain why. I like a challenge, okay? When Eddie and Conor started demanding that there was a rehydration clause for this fight, guess what I said? Show me the money. Show me the money. That's what I said. You know
why?
If you're going to have that advantage,
poker. That's why you need the money.
If you're going to have that advantage over me,
poker. That's why you need.
Then you've got to pay top dollar.
This fight.
You've got to pay. I'm not going to give you that advantage for free.
Anyway, Addy.
That's exactly what they've done.
And that's why. Apparently, he got all the money. He signed the contract.
That's right. They paid me.
Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday morning for the
do
weigh-in.
the rehydration clause.
We'll see you there Saturday morning for the
As
weigh-in.
much as Eddie doesn't want to admit that and for that to be public knowledge.
Eddie's roasted him. All right, we'll see you there Saturday morning for the weigh-in. Team Hen won this one, I ain't gonna lie. Eubank I didn't hear. Obviously, Eubank. This press conference was a 10-1 press conference for Hen. Obviously, in the 12th round, Eubank knocked him spark out though with the egg. Bosh! All bust off his chops. No doubt about it.
That's what's happening.
What's public knowledge?
I'm being paid to restrict my weight.
No, you're on a weight penalty if you miss it.
No. I'm physically being paid.
Oh, yeah.
Do you really think
you got
I would
spun
ever
around
do
in
this
these
if there wasn't
negotiations?
some type of incentive?
See that geezer on your right, who I quite like now? He got spun around like a little kid on a playground on a roundabout. And every time he went round, I went, hello, Ben, hello, Ben, hello, Ben, like that. And he done a good job. He got you a good deal. But he knows what he signed. You know what you signed.
Chris was paid to do this.
I don't care what
Chris
he
was paid to do
Absolutely.
this. And
Good.
Bottom line.
paid to restrict
Listen,
the weight.
we were over the moon, we got 60-40 split in our favour. Next question.
Behave, Eddie. Behave.
Now,
60-40 split in their favour. Really? And Ben Chalong is kind of like, behave, Eddie, behave. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what Ben Chalong's doing. Ben Chalong had the #1 heavyweight prospect, Martin Bakole, and he cashed him in on 2 days' notice, even though he was going to have an IBF final eliminator. I am starting to. Well, I was already questioning Ben Chalong. It's really weird. He's conservative in situations he shouldn't be. Like, for example, he didn't need to be conservative, in my opinion, with Adam Azim versus Dalton Smith. That's when you roll the dice. Adam Azim on a full camp, I'd back him to beat Dalton Smith. Oops. Roll the dice there. What you don't do is, you got your #1 IBF contender for a final eliminator for the World Championship against Daniel Dubois, which is I think it's a winnable fight for Bakole on a full camp against Dubois. World champion right there. Jackpot, what's he going to do? Nothing, most likely. You got it right there. And you gamble with Bakole, but not with Adam Azim? I don't think this guy knows the game at all. I've got to be honest. He really ain't got a clue what he's doing whatsoever. And if that rehydration clause was put in on 24 hours notice, Ben Chalong should have said, forget about it. Oops. And I think Eddie Hearnstein, Conor Benn actually has less places to go than Eubank, if I'm honest. Why? What's Conor Benn going to do? Conor Benn will get smoked at 154. He'll get smoked at 147. That's what will happen to him in a World Championship fight. He don't have no World Championship options like that. He gets smoked. So instead, Eubank can do other things. He can do, I don't know, what could he do? He gets smoked at 160 as well, to tell the truth. But I don't know. Eubank's he's made his money though. Conor Benn would have been the one begging for this fight, in my opinion. And hence, why would Ben Chalong sign off on the rehydration clause for? It's messy, man. Proper messy.
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
And also, one thing I want to say is this.
Stop interrupting me.
No, I've got something
This
else
is
to
not
say
the
as
Eddie
well.
Hearn show.
Are you going to make
I told
the
you I
weight?
don't want to hear you.
Are you going to make the weight?
I told you I don't want to hear you. That's not going to.
Are you going to make the weight?
Now, this rehydration situation, I've never done it before. Usually I put on around 14 pounds after a weigh-in.
How long?
So I have two ways of approaching this now. I can either
You need new management, mate.
restrict what I eat and drink so that I make the weight the next day, or I eat and drink as much as I want, rehydrate as much as I want, as I usually do, and then on the fight day, I'll jump in a sauna or a steam room for 40 minutes, get the 4 pounds off.
Stop covering your for when you get knocked out.
And then
That's all I'm hearing.
I'll hit that number that they want me to hit. I don't know which one I'm going to do. It's a gut thing, you know. On the day I will decide. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually irrelevant. Whether there's weight clauses, restrictions, it doesn't change the outcome of the fight. One thing that you all need to know that Eddie's tried to push hard over the last few weeks is that the IBF enforced a 10-pound restriction anyway at middleweight. So that's why this.
I've got to skip this part. He's doing my head in. It's explaining way too much, man. He had the right lines there. It doesn't matter what the weight is, you're getting it. Now the fight's signed, you're going to turn up there, so it's all irrelevant. There's no point, oh, well, the IBF said this, and Jack Dempsey in 1902 was doing... Do you know what I mean? You lost me, man. It's just too long in the tooth, man. This guy loves to talk too much.
This is safe. The truth is, that's a lie. The IBF...
They moved it to 12 recently.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which is what he did not tell you, is that it's a 12-pound weight limit. So just another example of Eddie lying through his teeth to the public to try and make himself look good
Not
in
at
this
all.
situation.
It's all down to negotiation, and as I said...
Why is it now that only people are only hearing you say it's 12 pounds?
Because that's the IBF rule that
Oh,
should
no,
change.
because you...
Chris,
you've been trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
You said in the first fight,
I'm going to expose
you only
everything.
hydrate 5 or 6
Why are
pounds.
you
Now it's
talking
14
about the 5 pounds? Why are you talking about the last
Now it's
fight?
14 pounds.
Nobody cares about the last fight. We're talking about
So,
now.
is it going to make a
The
difference?
IBF
Chris, is it
enforced
going
a
to make a
10-pound
difference?
limit.
Chris, just
And
in open now. Is it going to make
not
a
a 12-pound
difference?
limit, not
Is it
10.
going to make a difference in this fight?
Why are you talking to me? Connor,
Let me ask you that
because
question.
your promoter is saying
I'm-
more
Eddie,
on his
one
table
second,
than
sorry,
you.
Eddie, but he isn't. I've
Is
told you
this
an idiot
Eubank
getting knocked
Hearn
out.
or
I'm
Eubank
happy to
Ben?
find excuses.
This is pretty wild, actually, Connor.
Back
You're
off.
letting this guy chat for you. It's embarrassing. Say something.
I'm just answering your question.
I don't want to talk to you, Eddie.
I don't want to talk to you. You talk. You're
You're so unimportant to me, it's not even funny.
Ditto.
And I believe it's not like, what round he's going to do him in, what round. I think as soon as he hits much harder than Liam Smith. And I think once Conor put that pressure on him, Conor can do 12 rounds at pace.
He doesn't hit harder than Smith, I don't think. Not, maybe if you put him on a heavy bag and you whack it both, but I haven't. Where's the evidence of it, man? Where's the evidence? This Rodolfo dude. Let's have a look if he's been down before. Rodolfo. He hasn't fought. He's been fighting in Mexico. He's been fighting dudes with 39 and 30. So he's gonna... Come on, people. Hendra, they got this guy out of there. He can't be that durable. And if I remember correctly, both of these fights, it's not like they were stinkers. Dobson and Rodolfo, they were fighting with Ben. It wasn't like he wasn't catching him. I really don't think Ben can punch. I hate to say it. I really don't think he can. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Well, I don't know, actually. Eubank. It's going to be one of them ones. Eubank has to be proper. His chops has to be well gone. It has to be a big Kabbalah violation for Ben to pull it off, in my opinion. It shouldn't be close. Really, shouldn't be close. And what was the fight we saw? Adamez versus Shiraz. When you haven't been in there, Eubank is a world level operator, I think. When you haven't been in there with that level, which Conor Benn has not. He's not even been close to it. He doesn't even have a win over... Let's think of a name here. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any win where you can say a durable dude, a durable British level dude. He doesn't have that. Eubank has that. Smith too. Liam Williams. What's the other cat's name? He put Liam Williams down for fun. He stopped Liam Smith, never been stopped before. Tell a lie. Canelo popped him. Oh, I was unfit. Whatever. You got stopped, man. You got stopped. Eubank stops people. High level people, or puts them down. Ben doesn't.
At pace. And you know what? If he wants to come in here at 60% against my son, mate. And you know what it is, Chris? I want to apologise to you because I remember you saying, that I was disrespectful to your dad. So I'm sorry if I offended you saying that I hate your dad. I don't hate your dad because you know what it is? Through my stupidity. That was my stupidity. I'm a 61-year-old man, and you know what? I thank God for having Chris in my life because at the end of the day, going for a right. He's going to hit you so many times, you're going to think you're surrounded. I'm telling you, he's going to hit you so many times with a left, you're going to be crying for a right. He's going to hit you so many times, you're going to think you're surrounded. I'm telling you, mate.
That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear apologies. I want to hear how it's going to be.
He's going to put it on you, mate, and I'm so confident, so confident, mate.
Good.
Nigel, what in Conor's career gives you the confidence that he's going to beat Chris?
What gives me the confidence? Because I know my boy. He's got my DNA, but much better.
He's not even fought at British level.
No.
Ben Shalom. Well played the Ben Shalom one. This is what Chris should have been saying from the jump, with more venom on it. He hasn't fought at British level. He has not. I'm trying to think. Let's have a look at the 147-pound division. There was definitely Josh Kelly. I think Josh Kelly would have boxed up. I think he would have boxed up Ben, to be honest. Too much ping. Ben will be coming forward. I don't know, actually. I don't know, but he should have had that kind of level fight. Josh Kelly, right? Or an Avanesian. Conor Benn likes to trade and get in the mix. Conor Benn versus Avanesian. That would have been... Avanesian is not as well cooked as... What are the stiffs he fought? He fought some proper stiffs. You know the ones I'm talking about. You know the ones whilst he was on the eggs. Whilst Ben was on the eggs, he fought proper stifflers. We've mentioned earlier. Where are they? Where are the Stiffingtons? Come on. Van Heerden and Algieri. Yeah? They're well stiff. They're well old. You get Avanesian in there. Avanesian's been stopped by Crawford. No one's disputing that. But Avanesian, you know what I mean? He's solid. He's been stopped by Jaron Ennis as well. But he's solid. I'd give him more credit if he'd have gone in there and filled him in. You ain't even got that level on your name. You got nothing on your name. Seriously. Not a bean. And it will tell in this fight. A bit like Hamza and Adamez. You'll see it will be similar. Not in the way the fight plays out, but the class will show in the end, I believe.
Hold on, let me finish. I didn't fight for a British title.
But you fought for British and European.
28 then.
You fought.
You don't know nothing
at
about
28 years old. At 28 years old, Chris Eubank Jr. was further than this.
At 28 years old, I've got a good 5 years left. I ain't in no hurry. So far, what I have done is good. It's great. So far, what I've done, I'm still undefeated. I don't even know why you're talking.
You're still undefeated. You fought bums, man. Seriously. You fought proper bums, Ben. You can't say you're undefeated. Eubank, with all due respect, yeah, you put Eubank in there with the stifflers you've been in there with, he'd be 10 times undefeating, pound for pound, undisputed champion by now, right? Seriously. And most half alive heavyweight, fighters would be undefeated with the cats you fought. Proper stiffs. Not one dude even with a name. There's not one name on there. Oh, Chris Algieri. Come on, man. That's the best name you got. So you was on the moody eggs anyway.
Okay, if you're that confident, no, we want to talk about contrast. If you're that confident, right? There was a rematch clause in this. There's a rematch clause in this fight, right?
You asked for.
But both fighters, you were desperate for Eddie.
Ben,
you were desperate
asked
for
a 2-fight deal.
2 paydays left.
You asked for it.
Yeah, it's 2 easy paydays.
All right, okay. So you asked for the rematch.
Just to be clear, both fighters were offered. So they want to take a number if they win or a number if they lose, right? The higher number if you win, the lower number if you lose. Chris, of course, the confidence takes the number.
You lost for the rematch. You didn't want a second fight.
Connor decides win or lose, wants to say the same number. So no, you can talk all in about confidence. No, Eddie.
You asked for the rematch. You asked for 2 fights.
Easy 2 fights. You asked for 2 fights.
1 second.
Let's
See what
be
you
clear.
just said. No, but you see what you just said.
You wanted the same number, win or lose.
Hold on a minute. You see what you just said? I'll put the message about you saying to me, make sure there's a rematch.
Of course, it's 2 easy paydays.
Of course.
Nigel,
You've absolutely done yourself up like Kipper. You asked for a rematch.
Eddie, I got messages from you.
Ben, did you ask for a rematch?
Of course, it's 2 easy paydays. We're getting paid off.
You signed the contract.
Okay, on to the next thing now. We get it. There's going to be a rematch. No, come on. No, it's too much. It's too much. We're not here to hear you chat to Eddie, and it's all.
That's the best thing you've said all night.
The only voice I want to hear is Conor, or my own voice. I have.
I know that, Ben. In all due respect, yeah. Ben Shalom had the best bars out of Chris. On Chris's side, Ben Shalom dropped the best bars. Chris is just monologuing. He loved the sound of, oh man, cock-a-doodle-oo, man. He loved the monologue, and it's a dead monologue as well. It's just proper tired and long in the tooth.
It's the truth. What are we doing here?
About your team.
No. This is not a team sport. It's going to be me and Conor hurting each other in a few months' time. So all this you guys are going back and forth about now, it's irrelevant. No one's going to remember it.
Started it about the rehydration.
No, you're an idiot who's taking this fight because you owe someone some money. That's what I know.
How much money do you owe Eddie? Let's talk about that.
I owe Eddie nothing.
No. I've heard you.
Okay,
you paid for your house. You paid for your cars.
I can confirm that's incorrect.
Yeah, we all know we can't trust what you said.
What are you talking?
I think that's actually the reason why you've been pushing so hard for this fight, because you want to recoup some of that money.
I love the fight. I think he wins.
I know, of course you think.
No, you don't, Eddie.
Of course I do, Ben.
No, you don't.
That's why I didn't want a rematch. And you made sure there was one in.
You wanted a rematch.
Not at all.
You begged for a rematch.
We don't about the rematch. We care about what's going to happen on April 26th.
Good. And what's going to happen? Because you keep talking about the last fight.
This is the easiest press conference I've ever done. I don't even need to be here.
What happens April 26th, Chris?
What do you mean what happens?
You tell us.
Do you like I haven't said it a million times already?
Really? You kind of beat around the bush. You're the bigger man, points, have some respect. How do you win?
I said I am the better fighter, not because of my size, but because of my pedigree, because of my experience, because of these 35-year-old fists.
And what happens?
What happens is tune in, and you will see.
You sound very confident.
It's a good way to say it. Tune in is right, April 26th.
On DAZN Worldwide and Sky Sports.
There you go, people. I got a separate video on the egg gate, the egg to the bonce gate. But the press conference was alright. What can I say? The best part was the egg bash. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about it. People, stop it.